Well, once again, hi everyone. Good morning, if it's morning for you, or good afternoon or good evening. We're here for the next AMA, and this time we have the team at AjeVerse, and I have unmuted Ether Thanos. So your microphone should be working.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. How are you, mate?
I'm doing. How are you? You're not getting any sleep. It's been back to back.
we're taking turns for that. We're taking turns for that reason. But yeah, it was a very early start for me this morning at 3:30. All good, all good. Hey, is
Oh,
there
good.
anyone else from your team that wants to speak here today, or
No,
just you?
I'll be in this one.
Yeah, no worries. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
No reason in waiting any further, because we've had back-to-back AMAs, so we have a lot of people already here, and more will join, I'm sure. Welcome everyone to the AjeVerse AMA for today. Welcome, Ether Thanos. It's a pleasure to have you. How are you?
I am doing awesome, and it's an honor to be here. I'm really looking forward to this.
That's great to hear, mate, and likewise, 100% likewise. Okay, so Ether Thanos, please tell us a little bit about yourself. First of all, can you tell us a bit about your background and how you got into crypto, please?
Okay, so my background is typically communications and marketing. In real life, I work as a public speaker, as an innovation consultant, and that's it. So my background is typically technology. This is what I've done. This is the language that I have spoken all this while. In 2014, a friend of mine who needed a loan back then. Now, if you go back a little bit, you remember that there was a crackdown on Silk Road and shut down all of their systems and everything that they're doing on the dark web. And at the time, I think the currency that was very prevalent in the digital space was the currency called Liberty Reserve. It was called, right? It was quite popular. I don't know if it was for every country, but the more I come from, it was quite popular.
Sorry, Ether Thanos, your connection is really poor, and we only get maybe 1 out of 3 words that you say.
Is it any better now?
It comes on and off, like it's really good, and then the voice becomes robotic. Can you try again, please?
Okay, all right. I hope you're able to hear me now quite clearly.
No, it's the same.
Okay, give me a second. Let me switch and just take the answer again. All right.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll just wait a second, because we definitely want to hear what you're saying. So yeah, guys, AjeVerse Honor is just a switching device so that we can make sure that we can hear what he says. It's a very interesting project. I'm going to post the website here for you guys so you can have a look. And it's an African community-driven meme token. So I like the fact that it's an African project. Cryptocurrency is very widespread in certain countries of Africa, and it's great to see that a lot of the unbanked are able to do things and access their finances and handle their finances the way that they want thanks to cryptocurrency. So
I'm back. Are you able to hear me properly now?
Yes, we can, mate. This is really good.
Fantastic. All right. So
yeah.
I was given a backstory
Yes.
of my background.
Yeah, in 2014, you were mentioning about the dark web scandal. Yeah.
Exactly. And so there was a big crackdown on Silk Road. The major currency of that network, which was Liberty Reserve, was actually shut down. And so when Bitcoin sort of reared its head, 2014, 2015, a friend of mine reached out, and he wanted a loan of something very, very small, about $100 worth in today's currency equivalent. and he wanted $100 and wanted to give me 100 Bitcoin. But because of what had happened with Silk Road, I thought that anything that was being used as a currency in especially the dark web space was something that was illegal. And as somebody that sort of had like a public career, I didn't want to have anything to do with it. So when Bitcoin started picking up at around $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, back in 2016, 17, I realized the kind of big mistake I had made, because that would have really changed my life. Especially now, if you look at where Bitcoin is sitting, and if I had 100 Bitcoin. So that's what drew my attention back to crypto after I missed that opportunity. And so in 2017, I came back into crypto, started looking at the space. At that time, it was quite difficult to trade. We didn't have the exchanges. It was just blockchain at the time. It was quite, the network was slow. Sending Bitcoin took, 30 minutes plus, especially if you were in an area where internet could also be a problem. So typically that's my background. I do innovation consulting. I've worked with multinational brands across different parts of the country. I do also as a professional career path. I'm a public speaker. I've done this in about 15 countries, and that's typically my background.
Wow. Okay. What a background. Thank you for that. So, are you telling me that you could have bought 100 Bitcoin for $100?
For $100. And the amazing thing, Pip, is that after I didn't take that 100 Bitcoin, I didn't get my money back until now. I don't know where the guy is. So I didn't get $100 back, and I didn't get 100 Bitcoin until now. It breaks my neck when I think about it.
So just to give, I'm sure that you've done it many times, but just to give you and everyone else that is listening an idea of what you would have now, with the 100 Bitcoins, you would have, or Bitcoin, you would have 5.7 million US.
Please don't do this to me. When we're at 60 something thousand, I used to look at the price of Bitcoin and just cry inside. It's really sad when you miss it. But I mean, we're here, so we'll make the best out of what's ahead of us.
We'll make the best of what we've got, and we keep and hodl for the next time.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that background story. It's really good to know where the people we talk to come from and how they got here.
Absolutely.
Mate, tell us a little bit, just in a couple of sentences, if you can, what AjeVerse is all about, please.
Okay. All right. So it's very important that I give context to where Aje came from, right? Because the word Aje, AJE, as you see it, means different things to different people in different parts of Africa, depending on the locality or the tribe you're coming from. The one though that is quite known, the one that has sort of achieved mainstream recognition, is the word Aje, which means on God, right? And if you wanted to translate that so that everybody understands it from a global perspective, it's like an American saying, on everything I love, right? Or by any means necessary. It's that kind of audacious calling out of whatever is within you to say that I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this done. So the word Aje in and of itself is a message. It's something that is deeply rooted in the kind of the character of the African person who wants to defy all odds. So I wanted to really point that out so that when you're pronouncing it, you can understand the spirit and the aura behind the name Aje. But the project, AjeVerse project, is basically number one. We wanted everybody to know that this is Africa stepping to the plate. And saying that we want to be part of the Web3 conversation. This is Africa stepping to the table and saying this is what we're bringing to the table. So number one, we want everybody to understand that AjeVerse is an African project, is built for us, by us, open to the entire world. Secondly, it is community driven. Because of course that's what we have. We have something in Africa called Ubuntu, and Ubuntu basically means I am because you are, and you are because I am, which actually means if you don't make it, I don't make it, and if I don't make it, you don't make it. We coexist on both of our existence, if that makes sense. So community is very important to us. We also, of course, are driving ourselves through the meme economy, and that has become a thing now. So AjeVerse is an African community-driven meme token. What we seek to do is bring Africa to the table and say we want to establish ourselves in the NFT and metaverse revolution. I think since Zuck announced that Facebook is becoming Meta, it has become a global conversation, the most searched, keyword in Google and different types of places. And so Africa is knocking the door, bringing our experience, our stories, our unique environment, that which we understand. If anybody knows the crypto space and the statistics, you know that Nigeria is the number 4 country in the world that does the biggest volume of Bitcoin. So you cannot talk top 5 in crypto and exempt Africa. And so that's in a nutshell what AjeVerse is, with a context to what the name Aje means.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because I truthfully had no idea, and I love learning about things like that. So Aje. So
On
that's
God. So the
by
next
all
time
means,
people you say
by any
you want to
means.
say to somebody, we will make it anyway, just say to them Aje. When they ask you what it
Okay.
means, say on God. Like, or by any means necessary, we will make it. That's the connotation of the word.
I love it. I really love it. We were actually mentioning in the main chat with some Nigerian friends yesterday, and they were making fun of me because I couldn't write down properly my Nigerian name given to me by Nigerian friends in Europe. And so I love this. And I love the fact that crypto is encompassing. It's global. And we're talking about these things. You're talking to me about pidgin word. I'm here in Australia. This is great. Love it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So fantastic to hear as well about the extent to which Nigeria has embraced crypto. Okay, tell us about the project itself, please, Thanos. How do you intend to encapsulate the spirit of Aje in your project? What is it? What are you physically doing? Please tell us.
Thank you very much. So there's a very predominant and quite established trend when you look at the continent of Africa. Even though we're blessed with the most minerals, we're blessed with some of the most powerful human resource on earth. If you look at every high performing society and you trace it down to the roots, you will see that Black people and African people are part of the foundations of those society. We literally built the world up in every sense of the word. But there's a trend that's quite established, especially in technology. What happens is when technologies rear their head, we're almost always the last group of people to jump on. We're literally almost always at the last part of the food chain. Everybody sort of, rolls out the technology, the innovation breaks through. We go through the Gartner hype cycle. We come back into play. We go into mainstream adoption. And then right at the end, we have, the established technologies in the Americas, in China, in different parts of the world, come back to Africa and come and own our markets. And so the first thing that we wanted to do was send a very strong message to the world that when it comes to Web3 and when it comes to cryptocurrencies, we're not going to wait and be at the end of the supply chain. We're going to bring our stories and our unique experiences so that it doesn't sound like fluffy English. What are we actually trying to build? Now, the average African is yet to wrap their heads around what NFTs are. If they don't get that concept, how are they even going to understand what the metaverse means? What are the commercial opportunities? What are the opportunities for artists, for creators, for the everyday person to be able to create value in this new thing that the whole world is talking about? So part of the work we want to do is it is probably streamlined in 3 ways that I can talk about it. One is sort of like just the sensitization. The 72 people who are with us right now on this AMA, they're hearing about Africa. they're going to hear more about Africa. And so first is the awareness and the education that we're bringing to the space and to our own people, to say that this is a technology that is revolutionizing the world. We have an opportunity to get in early. We might have missed out on everything. We might have missed out on the first industrial revolution, the second one, the third one. This is something we can partake. That is one. Number two, we're looking at building real products with real use, but with the uniqueness of our African stories. And so as I go deeper into this AMA and as the questions come, I'm sure I'll get the opportunity to expand on that. But the third one is also to give back to community, which is very important to us. And I'm going to tell you a very important story. One of the main reasons why we did this. So, Pip, what happened is last year, there was a big sort of youth uprising in Nigeria. And it was an uprising against police brutality and how, you know, the governments and some of the security forces that are supposed to be protecting the people of Nigeria were actually abusing their rights and doing a lot of things that were against human rights. When this revolution started, a lot of people came into it and tried to finance it so that it could go far, the statement could be made, and some real measurable impact could be felt in Nigeria. What happened is the government, because of centralized systems, decided to freeze the accounts of any organization that was supporting the youth uprising. Guess what happened, Pip? In that season, it was cryptocurrency that came into play that allowed us to be able to transfer money from one point of the country to another point to support the people who were putting together these demonstrations to call back for our human rights. And that is the power, the unique power that cryptocurrency affords us as Africans. And so one of the unique things about our project is we're taking 5% of our total supply. We're going to spread it across about 36 months, and we're going to look at all of the victims, all of the related people, directly and indirectly to the victims of that NSAS revolution, and we're going to support them. People died, people lost their lives, mothers left their children, fathers left their sons, and all of these people need support. And so apart from creating the awareness, apart from creating the products, our own NFT marketplace, allowing community through a DAO governance voting system to determine the kind of metaverse we should build, we're also going to touch on something that's so important to us, which is supporting these people who have already proven that crypto has the power to free us. Crypto has the power to empower us against centralized systems that seek to bring us down. So these are some of the unique things of our product. There is awareness for our people to understand the technology. There's the technology itself for our people to use it. And then there is that unique touch on community that touches everybody. And that's what Aje is.
Wow. For starters, thank you for mentioning that. I had absolutely no idea about that uprising. Unfortunately, we don't hear a lot of news from abroad here. I do read my European newspapers from my original country, but if I miss one day, I already know that I'm never gonna get that type of news. So I had no idea. So I'm very sorry to hear that, for starters, and I'm very sorry to hear that it was such a bloody, uprising. Well, not because of the people that were demonstrating, but because of what happened. But yeah, it's great to know that a portion of the profits is going to go towards the victims. Okay, please. We're talking about a portion of the profits. We got into the token itself. Please tell us about the token. What is the name of the token? Is it, to me, it would have to be Aje. Is that the name?
It is Aje. It is
okay.
Aje.
Perfect. Perfect.
And I love how you pronounce it. You got it, Pip. You got it. It's Aje.
I'm Italian. It's easy for me. I just pronounce it the way it's written. Tell me all about the token, please.
All right. So the name of the project, of course, is AjeVerse. The symbol is Aje, AJE. The network is Binance Smart Chain. We build it on Binance. Of course, BEP20. Our total supply is 1 I think 1 quadrillion, which is 1 and 15 zeros. We have 30% that is allocated to our sale on PINKSALE tomorrow at 1400 UTC. Marketing is going to take 18%, which is going to be vested over a long period. Development for building the NFT marketplace, building the metaverse is 15%. Liquidity is 15%. Our charity is 7%. Community bounties is 5%. And we will be having a burn event just before our sale tomorrow to burn 10% of our total supply. And that's the snapshot of what our tokenomics looks like.
Perfect. Thank you. So while you were talking, I actually posted the link to the pre-sale a couple of times, so everyone can go there and can have a look and possibly put a bookmark, because in exactly 15 hours and 39 minutes, the pre-sale will start. Now, I see it's a whitelisted pre-sale only,
Yes.
at least at the start. And it has a 1,000 BNB hard cap. So guys, it's just have a look. It's I can't comment obviously because I can't give financial advice, but
Advice.
have a look at the website and listen to what Ether Thanos is telling us and make the decision whether to invest or not. Please, you went very, very quickly on the tokenomics. Can you just tell me again, because I missed it, do I get any reflections by holding your token?
No, so our token was minted as a standard token. So there are no reflections. There are no reward systems as of now. Of course, we've set out 5% for community bounties and airdrops. So that would be community incentive initiatives that will be rolling from time to time just to reward our users, especially those who will be patient enough. So one of the main things I have been sent here to communicate from the team is for people to fully understand that Aje is not going to be a quick pump and dump. We're not here for the quick 5x or 10x. We're actually going to build. We have a unique opportunity to bring the African story. And there's so many powerful, unique stories from Africa. People still do not understand the magnificent effect of, for instance, the Egyptian pyramids. People do not understand how much Africa influenced even languages, because we started with the hieroglyphics back in Egypt, even before the Romans ever thought of bringing out the Roman numerals. There's such rich cultural history that relates and affects everybody in the world, that we have a unique opportunity to storytell using the metaverse and using NFTs, using this new technology that allows us to redefine ownership. And so the first thing we want people to understand is we minted it as a standard token because we want people to understand that we're going the long term. We're going to build, we're going to bring products that are usable. We're going to be here 5-10 years down the line because we have a unique proposition. We're coming from a people who have been greatly underrepresented, whose voices have not been heard, well enough. So we don't have a reflection. We're not a reflection token. We're no rebates. We're not any of that. We're a standard token. And the only rewards that will be coming in from time to time is community airdrops and bounties and the likes.
Lovely. Great to hear. Okay, very good. So when if that's the case, not having there are no taxes of any sort, right?
No, there are no taxes, which means slippage is the normal pancake swap slippage when we list. There are no taxes. You don't need to worry about that.
There you go, guys. So when you do the trading, obviously you don't have taxes at pre-sale anyway. But when there's a normal trading, no high slippages or taxes for you. I'm really excited for the project, mate. It sounds great.
Thank you.
Now I can't wait to see where this is going to go. But please tell us a little bit about the roadmap, because you obviously already have a plan in mind. What's in the roadmap that really excites you, that you want to bring out for us, please?
Absolutely. So I think that the key points that I would love to highlight, our roadmap has need to undergo and will most likely keep undergoing updates, and depending on how things roll out, understanding the sentiments of the market, understand the technical demands of the things that we're looking to build, the kind of developers we're working with, and all of that. We will be updating the roadmap from time to time. So for instance, in our original roadmap, we're supposed to do an airdrop before our sale. We decided to shift that to after our sale and after our listing, to do our first community incentive product. But the key things that we'll love to highlight is we're looking at Q2, Q3 2022 to launch a fully functional multi-chain NFT marketplace. And for us, that is super exciting, because I'm sure you can fully appreciate the power in being able to move across multiple chains. And that has become a big thing for our the crypto conversation, interoperability, right? And so the ability for me to move from Matic or Polygon and move my NFT to the Binance Smart Chain network, or move it to Ethereum or Optimism or any of the other Polkadot or any of the other blockchain infrastructure is absolutely fantastic. So that's something we want everybody to look forward to. In terms of the token itself, and for those who are investing because they want to see their exits, of course, we're building this with you in mind as well. So some of the key things is immediately our sale ends. We set our sale for 72 hours. Looking at the kind of demand it has had in terms of the whitelist, we believe that we might close it way before that. So at whatever time we close our sale, later tomorrow, we are going to launch on PancakeSwap 24 hours after. So that's one key thing we want everybody to know, that immediately sale is closed, we will launch or we will list on PancakeSwap 24 hours after. The second thing that we'd love for them to know is we're looking at moving very fast in terms of making the token accessible. So things like listing on other dexes and listing on other centralized exchanges is something that we'll be looking at in the first 4 to 8 weeks, so that it is more accessible to people who don't really understand the DEX infrastructure. There are newbies, there are noobs in the game. We want to make sure we've catered for everybody so they can trade on centralized exchanges. We're looking at, of course, like I mentioned earlier, having our community incentive driven initiatives roll out for some airdrops and some bounties. And then we're also looking within the first 4 to 8 weeks of doing our first donation to some of the NSAS victims. Another thing I forgot to mention is beyond the NSAS victims in Nigeria, there's a particular group of people who have been neglected, and we queued them into our charity consideration, which is female victims of war-torn areas across the world. So this is not just Africa. There's been numerous exposés on how women, especially, and children tend to be the ones who receive a lot of the mutilation and all of the bad things that happen when there's a war, when there's civil crisis. So we're also looking to partner with organizations that are working to support women victims in war-torn areas in places like Afghanistan, the Congo, and different places around the world. And whenever the community agrees for us to actually sell a portion of the charity fund, we are going to give it to a well-recognized, organization that's working in that space, make it very transparent, make it very verifiable by our community. So these are some of the key things. The roadmap on the website will be updated. The one in the white paper will be updated. You can see all of the different things. But if I was to highlight 4 or 3 key things that we'll be looking at, those are the ones I just highlighted.
It's I'm almost speechless for the what you said in terms of roadmap, what's coming up, and the fact that you mentioned about the charity going towards that use as well. It's funny you mentioned that, because only on Tuesday night I was talking to a group of people about violence towards women. And I was mentioning the fact that 1 in 3 women around the world have been abused in their lifetime. And during times of crisis, and I'm not talking about wars, I'm talking about times of crisis as, for example, during a pandemic, that number goes up to almost 1 in 2 being abused or being more prone, more a chance of actually undergoing food shortages, and it's always women, and of course their children have to suffer. So the fact that your project is going to target them as recipients of charity funds is really good. I thank you for that, and I really like it.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. It's there will be so much to talk about. It's I'll tell you, I haven't been so excited during an AMA for a long time.
Wow, thank you.
But, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I really don't have any other questions. We mentioned that the pre-sale is going to be obviously on PINKSALE. I'm going to put the link here again. It starts in 15 hours and 29 minutes. If you don't have anything else to add, we can ask the community to get involved, but please, otherwise, feel free to add whatever you want to add before we do that.
No, I think we allow the community in, and we answer the questions, and towards the end, maybe what I will say based on our previous discussion is we have some prizes. Should we talk about that now so they know how they get the whitelist or they get the prize, or we do that later?
Okay, so let's talk about the cash prize, because I keep the whitelist prizes and what they need to do until the very end, so that we're sure that we have 93 participants here, and I love to see so many here for an African project. I'm so happy. So I want to see that number, the same number, if not higher, at the end. So for now, just the cash prize, guys. Thanos has been extremely generous. They're offering $300 in cash prizes, split among 6 people. So the best 6 questions will win each $50. And at the very, very end, I will tell you what you need to do to win a whitelist spot. And guys, based on what we heard so far, let me tell you that whitelist spot might be worth much, much more than $50. But I'll leave it at that. Anyway, stay on until the very end.
Absolutely.
Okay, raise your hands, guys, and this is your time to ask questions. Wow. Look at that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Very good. Okay, so let me just open this here. First one up, John Bull. Allowed to speak. And guys, only one question each, please. We have so many. Let's keep it fit for everybody. John Bull.
Hi, good evening from here. I actually had a couple questions, but you just said there's only one question.
Sorry, mate.
Or which one do I go for? Okay, do you know what? Let's go for this one. Your main priority or your main purpose of this project is to get into the metaverse. So this token, which is a standard token, what are the main utilities and functions of this token? Or how, as users, how are we able to use this within the metaverse?
All right. Thank you very much, John Bull. So we sort of highlighted this in our white paper, but I'm going to speak about it. There are 2 main use cases for our token. The first one is you will need it on the NFT marketplace. You will need it for fees. You will need it to mint anything, because what we're going to do with our NFT marketplace, and of course, we're going to be rolling this out in phases, bring the alpha product, the beta, let the community test it out, let community vote around it. So community is going to have a feel of what it will be like way ahead of the product, the final product coming out. So one of the key use cases of our token is you will need it for all forms of transactional fees on the NFT marketplace. That's one. The second is you're also going to need that to access our metaverse, because all forms of NFT, exchanges or NFT transfers within the metaverse, to prove ownership, to mint, to sign off anything inside our metaverse, you are going to need our token to be able to access that. And finally, holders, dependent on the proportion of tokens you're holding relative to everybody else who's holding the token, would have a certain level or a certain tier of voting rights when it comes to decision making. So to highlight and drive this home for you, is that every major decision, including how should our NFT marketplace look? What should the transaction fees look like? What are the things we should have as functional, things inside our metaverse? Should it be a play to earn game? Should it be real estate driven? Should it be all of those decisions? We're not going to make it on behalf of the community. Our DAO governance system and our voting infrastructure is going to do that. And you will need to be holding a certain amount of those tokens to be able to access. So the token use cases, access to our NFT marketplace, access to our metaverse, pay all transaction fees, and eventually be able to have voting rights in determining the direction of this product and this project over the long term. That would be my answer.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for asking, John. Okay, next one up, we have Jericho Team. And I'm going to unmute you now. Allowed to speak, Jericho. Jericho Team, please ask a question. Jericho, can you please ask a question now? You need to press the microphone. Sorry, mate, I need to move on. We have too many people. I can't wait. Sorry, guys. Next one up is JP. Unmuted. JP. Je peux.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My name is Ruby Emmanuel, and I'm actually Nigerian, and I'm currently living in Nigeria right now. So I really enjoyed this session. I loved the message because I was close to a couple people that lost friends and family and were in danger during that period of time. It was really hard. So I really love the vision. But I want to ask, can you shed more light on the leadership and the team of people that are involved with this project? Because although Ajay is a common saying over here, I don't know anything about you guys. Can you just explain? That's my question.
Okay.
Can you
JP.
talk about the leadership and
Sure. Thank you very much. So because we're fully KYC to PINKSALE and doxed, we're not too afraid to talk about the leadership. We're even still making the decision as to whether to unveil the entire team on our website, because the project that we're building is a beautiful one and there's no need for us to hide. I am personally Ghanaian. I'm speaking from Accra, Ghana. There are 3 members of our team who are based in Nigeria. Some of them very, very known faces. In fact, if you should go to Mr. Macaroni's page, if you go to Isbayu's page, you see some of the influencers who we're actually working with to send this message out there. There are about 4 Nigerians on the team. One of them is based in France, Paris. We have 3 of them who are in Lagos. We have 2 other Africans, one who is based in Dubai and another who is based in the UK on the team as well. And in building, especially our metaverse and our NFT marketplace, we will be working with developers from across the world. So eventually, if the decision is made to unveil the team, you will be able to see all of us on our website with our faces, our names. But I can relate. I come to Lagos literally 10 times a year. I know what it feels. I do with Mopo. I do with Lagos traffic. I do with Lagos traffic. I know all of the madness. Nobody don't correct for that country. You understand? So this is us. This is for us. And eventually, when the decision is made to unveil the team, you will see everybody behind. But I can tell you that we are our own people. Now your brother man, they talk to you now.
I know. I sabi. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thanks for that question, JP. Please, before you go away, can I ask you make a username here on Telegram, please? Because if you win, I need to have a username for you.
My username is JP.
Hang on a second. No, you actually, JP is just your name. While we're talking, just Google how to make username in Telegram. It starts with an A, at, and then yeah.
Okay.
Because that will identify you and no one else. Thank you.
Like JP, you know how in your email it's like jp@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Telegram also allows you to have a username at. So you need to create it. You need to go to your profile, go to settings, go to edit profile, and then create username. And then you can put, if you still want the JP and it's available, you can put it there, and that will be your unique username. So that's what he's talking about.
Okay, thanks. I'm about to do it right now.
You're
Fantastic.
welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so, and sorry, by the way, to hear that you had people that you knew that were involved in that. Okay, next one up, we have Clara. Clara, where are you? Where did you go? We had Clara, Josh, but it's not there anymore. Hang on. Are you still there, Clara? No, so I'll call you later. Let's go with Red Pitaya, please. Unmuted.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just glad to see some serious projects coming out from Africa. And I wanted to know if the AjeVerse is already developed, or you are waiting for the launch of the token to start it. And I wanted to know more about the real estate. I didn't get what it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So the metaverse as a product accessible to everybody is not ready yet. We've already conceptualized, we've created the framework. We sort of have an understanding of the protocols we need to deploy to be able to build it. But it is this launch of the token, the community we're building, the volume we're counting on, because there's a percentage in our total supply that is dedicated totally to our development over the next 5 years, to build a product that's usable, that we can keep on iterating and making better as we fully begin to comprehend what the metaverse should look and feel like. Because if you've seen the metaverse conversation, nobody has a vivid idea of what it is actually going to look like. Are we going to have VR gears on our ear, or is it going to be like that Ray-Ban, Facebook glasses that we're seeing now? Is it going to be immersive? Is it going to be virtual reality? Is it going to be mixed reality? Is it augmented reality? Or is it a mixture of all of these things, right? So that has not been built yet. Now, we mentioned real estate because a lot of the metaverse conversations now, some of the biggest projects, Sandbox, Decentraland, most of these play-to-earn metaverse NFT projects have already introduced the concept of real estate. The unique thing about our metaverse is people like yourself who are on this AMA seeking clarity on the project, who might buy in either a PINKSALE or eventually jump into the project. You guys will collectively help us decide what our metaverse should look like. So we're going to present different use cases, including real estate, including play to earn, including charity within the metaverse, including, tax to earn, all of the different concepts of things that we can do in the metaverse. We will allow our community to vote based on the number of tokens you're holding and the voting tier that places you. And then once community says, let's go with this, let's go with that, the core team will then take that information, go to our developers and build something that the entire community agreed on. That is the power of decentralization. That is what real democracy should look and feel like. And so that's the message I was sending concerning the real estate. We've not made it a definitive, decision yet. Our community will make that decision for or with us.
Okay, thank you for the answer.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thanks for asking, Red Pitaya. And I think Clara is back, so I'm going to unmute you. You're allowed to speak, Clara. Please ask your question. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
can everyone hear me?
That's a different Clara than what I thought.
Okay.
That's a bit.
I wanted to ask, in Africa right now, there's a lot of innovations happening in Africa right now.
Yeah.
We saw Wakanda, we saw Cake 2, we saw MedPink. We are seeing a whole lot of innovations that is really shaking the African space. I want to ask, is there any plan for collaboration or
Absolutely.
partnership? I've listened to what you said about AJ. There's a lot of strong concept around it. I've gone through the website. I've seen the arts that are over there. These are beautiful stuffs that resonates with Africans. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I saw the NSAX protest. I saw
Yeah.
Martin Luther King. I've seen the Benin masquerade. These are things that resonate with Africans. So I'm thinking if there's any plan for collaboration or
Absolutely.
partnership or stuff like that with other African innovations.
Absolutely. This is an absolute no-brainer. Josh, it is an absolute no-brainer. As we're speaking, since and this is the beautiful thing about our project. We broke grounds just 48 hours ago when we officially announced our project. In that 48 hours, we completed our KYC, we completed our audit. We've been featured on Yahoo, we've been on Benzinga. A lot has happened in the last 48 hours. And because of how the message has traveled, we have already had other African crypto projects, both those which are already existing and have some strong market presence, and those who are looking at where are the areas where we can actually explore synergies to be able to work together. If anybody understands Ubuntu, if anybody understands collaborations, it is Africans. We have had to depend on each other for survival for so long. It would not make sense in any way if we do not collaborate and we do not partner. So our community can be rest assured that as early as immediately the project breaks, we are reaching out, we're connecting not just to African projects, but anybody within the value chain, anybody that can add value to our ecosystem to partner. That's the way we win together. We cannot do it all alone. When Zach made his presentation, even with the kind of infrastructure and financial backing that Facebook had, he was clear on his message that the metaverse cannot be built by one single unit, one single individual, one single team. So we are absolutely open to it. We're going to allow our community to suggest partnerships. We're going to reach out for partnerships, and that is a no-brainer, Josh. It definitely is something we're going to do.
Okay, that's lovely. We're waiting for AJ, and we can't wait to see the success that will come from AJ.
Thank you so much. Can I ask, Josh, are you African yourself?
Yeah. Stay in Nigeria.
All right, I thought as much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, guys. We have very little time for the next two questions. So I ask the next two people, please, to be brief as you can. First one is Joshua. Unmuted, Joshua.
Hi, P. Can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
All right. Quick one. I wouldn't want to waste time for the next person to ask. I just want to know if there will be some kind of staking in your project, like we'll stake a particular NFT to another NFT. Could be our favorite NFT, like heroine or euro. You get what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Okay, Josh.
Yeah.
So first of all, the art on your display picture on Telegram, I own part of that art collection. You got it from Binance NFTs, if I'm right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I own a couple of that, and I'm keeping it for later. Just wanted you to know.
My goodness. Oh my God. I would love to see them, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you join our community, you can just reach out to me. I'll show you I own about 4 of those pieces. I got them for very low when he was doing the first auction on Binance NFT. But to answer your question, our current tokenomics has not deployed any form of staking. We wanted to focus on the value of the token being strong as a standard token. We wanted the people who are getting in very early to sit back, relax, and enjoy a ride to the moon. As far as they're willing to be patient, they are willing to ride with us for the longest ride. Some of the most phenomenal parabolic moves that we have seen in this market happens over a year. I remember buying Shiba Inu for $19 and getting 1.3 billion November 2020, and then seeing what it did this year. So we've not outlined anything on staking yet, but the beautiful thing about our project is whenever community calls for a vote on something, our DAO governance system allows us to look into that. The way our tokenomics is shaped, there's a possibility for, if that becomes necessary, for us to look at it. Either it's possible that we would create a staking token to complement Aje, or if it is possible to dynamically flip a little bit of our tokenomics to accommodate that. But as of now, we don't have that in the tokenomics. It is possible in the very, very near future. And like I said, if it becomes necessary, if the community says this is what we need to do, we will look at the possibility of that, Josh.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thanks for asking. And finally, we have Zuzu, which I can't find anymore. Hang on. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Allowed to speak. Please, as brief as you can, mate. Zuzu.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, you say in white paper that you guys wanna go on DEX in coming months, but you also say that your liquidity is locked for 1 year. So if you go on DEX, they ask for percent of liquidity, and you can't do it if it's locked. What do you propose to do with it?
Okay. Thank you very much. So to clarify that very technical question, it's you need to look at our tokenomics very, very well, Zuzu. Our liquidity is 15% on our current tokenomics. If you are on the DEX, which we're going to start with PancakeSwap, if we consider any other forms of DEX listings, there is, if you look at our current PINKSALE, you will see that there's about 45% of our different allocations that are locked, and part of that forms part of the liquidity that is locked away. So when we're looking at any other DEX, I think that the dynamism of the PINKSALE platform, by the way, excellent platform, is we would be able to look at unlocking a certain percentage to go for liquidity for that particular DEX. When we're going into a SEX, it is market making, and that is a very different conversation. So the 45% that is locked away from different allocations in our tokenomics will come into play when we look at different DEXs. For emphasis, we would be focused more on other sexes as compared to DEXs, because we know that that would allow more and more people to be able to access the token. And so we might not go too heavy on DEXs. We wouldn't mind having an extra one, but our focus would be a lot more on centralized exchanges where people are able to trade quite easily. They can do KYC, they can feel protected, as opposed to DEXs where all sorts of things happen, and we need a certain level of technical know-how to be able to use the space. So that would be my answer to that question.
Excellent, thank you. Thanks for asking that question, Zuzu. It was actually well thought out. If you still have doubts and you want to see exactly what Ether Thanos is talking about, please join their Telegram channel. I've just posted again there, and Rachel did the same thing. AjeVerse, t.me/AjeVerse. and you can ask all questions. And everyone else, there's so many hands up. Please do the same thing, guys. We don't have time, unfortunately, for any more questions, but join the Telegram channel for AjeVerse and ask there. Get ready for this pre-sale. Try to get into the whitelist. Ask Thanos and the other people what you need to do. But as far as we are concerned, we have the 6 winners for the best questions, which were 6 questions. And here they are, right? There they are. So I'm actually forwarding them as well to our private group. Now, congratulations. But for all of you that want to win one of the 30 whitelist spots, I'm telling you right now what you need to do. So are you all ready? You need to be ready. Okay. So what you need to do, guys, you need to go on social media, whether it is Twitter, Facebook, it doesn't matter, but wherever you have your account, I prefer Twitter myself. Post something about AjeVerse with the tag AjeVerse and post a screenshot in the Pink ecosystem main group. The first 30 people that do that win a whitelist. It cannot be a forward. It has to be a post from your own account. So post something on Twitter with the tag AjeVerse and post a screenshot here in the main chat. I will check later after the AMA. The 31st people that do that win a whitelist spot. So go quickly and do it, because there's we had 103 people here on voice chat, and those 30 spots are going to go very quickly. As far as I'm concerned, it was a pleasure to have you here. Thanos, great conversation, great AMA. Thank you very much to all the ones that have participated. I'll leave the microphone to you for your last comments, mate.
Thank you so much. I'm just excited. I've joined some other AMAs. Just seeing the number of people who joined is very encouraging for where we're coming from. Thank you for giving us the benefit of the doubt, for hearing our idea, our concept, for taking a look at our project. We welcome all of you to the AjeVerse. Come and experience Africa from a global perspective that like you've never seen before. Come, let's take this little monster all the way to the moon. And let's build this together. We're community driven. This is for us, by us, and we look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you once again. It was a pleasure. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see you in a few minutes for our next AMA. Bye now.
Bye.